Yes, good morning, guys. It's a chilly Friday. It's on 6th February of 2026. Yeah, so I remember that we had the last class, it was about the basics of Deriv, and we talked about it. And I told you that we're going to talk about the different trade types that we'll be talking about. So just remind ourselves on what we talked about the last episode. We talked about how Deriv works, what is Deriv, and what's the difference between Deriv and Forex. We talked about the different market that Deriv offers, and we talked about the volatility indices. That those are the assets that we'll be dealing with. We call them the volatilities, and then I talked about the different trade types and how they work. Okay, so remember I told you the Deriv is only it's a broker. It's a broker which has its own binary markets, or it's a broker which offers its own market. And remember, I told you that those markets they are computer generated market. There is no real time manipulation or real time anything like the real time market like the forex. Remember I told you that it doesn't follow that. Maybe the news, maybe those factors that affect the real time market, like that's the forex market. So that's all that's what we talked about the last time we were together. I told you that we'll only be dealing with the binary options. And remember, I told you that we go to the options and then we'll find the different trade types that Deriv offers. Why did I say that Deriv offers different market? Because they can't just give out one trade type, because they must satisfy all the traders. Okay, yeah, because not all traders can trade one type of a market or of a trade type, so they must offer different trade types. Maybe for the other traders who maybe don't know, maybe let's say the rise and fall, they can find another priority. Okay, now let's proceed. We talked about the Deriv, and I showed you about the markets, the trade types, and I told you the trade types are all about prediction. Okay, it's all about prediction. It's not the assets movement, but you're predicting the assets movement. Okay, yeah. So these are the assets. We talked about the volatility indices, the continuous indices. So these are the assets: the 10-1s, 10 index, and 15 index, and so on and so forth. Volatility is the assets movement. Okay, yeah, and predictably, and maybe it can the how that price is moving. So you find that there are some, let's say like forex, there are some pairs which are so volatile that their movements may liquidate you. Yeah, liquidity is sweeping you out, yeah, of that order. Okay, yeah. So the volatility, remember I told you the derivative markets, they just mimic the real-time market. So this volatility acts, okay, the 10-1s is the asset itself, and the volatility is its movement. Okay, so the lower the volatility, the lower, let's say like those people trading on CFDs, the lower the volatility, the more it gives you a structure, like a noticeable structure. Okay, but the higher the volatility, the higher that market can go. It can go, it can liquidate you or anything. Yeah, forgive me on that. So let's proceed. I talked about the volatilities. I told you that we'll be using this volatility with 1s. Yeah, remember I told you that because the volatility with 1s, this asset, it normally produce one digit after 1 second. And remember, each digit that is being generated here, it's random. Okay, you can't control it, so you must understand that. So that's all about the volatilities. If you want to catch up about those classes that I taught last time, you can go and find that video on the YouTube channel. It was our first video. Remember, I created this YouTube channel like two days ago. Okay, yeah. So we'll be dealing with the volatilities and we'll be dealing with the jump index. So I'll talk about that. Okay, now let's proceed. I talked about the trade types and I told you that there are different trade types. They can't just offer you one trade type. So this is just a prediction of how that market is moving. Okay, let's take rise and fall as an example. So this is what I'll be talking about today. So make sure you understand up to the end. So remember, I told you that we'll be dealing with only 4 trade types that I've specified on, I've specialized on the 4 trade types. Okay, so the first trade type I told you that is the rise and fall. It's all about predicting if the market will go up or down, maybe after a particular number of ticks or a particular number of minutes. Okay, the next part we talked about the digits, and the digits we are predicting the last digit of that price asset. Remember I told you this price, this asset produces one digit after 1 second, and it can produce one digit after 2 seconds, maybe if you are trading with the volatility with the plain index. Okay, yeah, so we'll be dealing with these volatilities with the 1 second tag here. Okay, so these digits we will be predicting digits only. So I'll talk about that each and every maybe session I'll be giving you here. I'll be talking about it. So today we are talking about the rise and fall. So let's if you want to select the rise and fall, you come here to the accumulators, you press there, and then you swipe down, and then you will find the rise and fall here, and then you select it. Okay, this is the only trade type that we'll be dealing with that does not contain any digit prediction. So Apple predict digit, you are not predicting any digit. It's all about the price movement. Okay, yeah, it's all about, yeah, let's say an example is the forex market. So there is one pair that move up, so upward, and there's another pair that moves downside. Okay, yeah, let's say like euro USD, the euro goes up, the USD goes down. That doesn't mean that if the candlestick is red, that the USD is weak. No, it shows that the euro USD, it shows that the USD is gaining power and the euro is losing power. So it doesn't mean that if the candlestick is red that the USD is weak or the euro is weak. No, it doesn't mean that way. So let's come back here. So I was talking about the rise and fall. Rise and fall, it's all about predicting the assets movement, either up or down. So you are just predicting if the market will go up or it will go down. You're predicting these assets movements. Okay, so this is only a prediction. You're just predicting. Okay, so this as you can see, this asset is moving. It's moving up and down. It's moving up and down. But when you look it right now, you can't predict the next movement. So there are some things that we use to show us the direction. Okay, and we normally use candlesticks. Okay, so make sure you understand that we normally use candlesticks to know the direction of the market. Okay, because you can't just use this simple line chart to 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 know where the market will go next. So you just use a candlestick to predict, to know which direction the market is currently. Okay, yeah, so we normally have two candlesticks. We normally have two candlesticks. We normally have a green candlesticks, and we normally have a red candlestick. So what does the green candlestick represent and what does the red candlestick represent? So you must understand that. Okay, in forex we are the green candlestick normally shows that the buyers are in control of that market. Okay, and the green candlestick always moves upward. Like a green candlestick will always move upward. Okay, either in forex, either in crypto, either in stock, and so on, either in binary, it always be moving upward. And then you have a red candlestick in forex. It normally represents the sellers. So the red candlestick normally goes down, and the green candlestick normally goes up. So the green candlestick normally represent the buyers, and the buyers push the market up. So whenever you see a green candlestick, just know that that market is going up and the buyers are in control. And whenever a candlestick is red, just know that that market is heading downward and the sellers are in control. So we normally call the red candlestick, we normally call the green candlestick a bearish, a bullish candle, or a bullish market. A bullish market is the market is going upward. So the buyers, we call them the bulls, and then the sellers, we call them the bears. So a red candlestick, we call a red candlestick, we normally call it a bearish candlestick, a bearish market. So ukiwasikia mtu amekwambia this market is bearish, just know that that market is going down. And whenever you hear someone saying that this market is bullish, just know that market is going upward. And the bullish market will represent it with a green candlestick, a bearish market will represent it with a bearish candlestick. I think we are good up to there. So after you have known that we normally represent the the market with the candlesticks to know the direction. So how do you put those candlesticks? How do you put those candlesticks? How do we remove this line chart and put the candlesticks? So remember, we are predicting the market going up and the market going where? Down. So you must have something that's leading you and showing you that this market currently is going up and this market currently is going down. And I told you that we'll be using the candlesticks, okay? So make sure you understand that. So how do we feed in those candlesticks so that we can see the direction of the market currently? Because right now we can't know where the market is heading to. Okay, so the first thing, you come here. There is this icon written chart text. Okay, yeah. If you are using your mobile phone, you'll just find it here in the middle of this line graph. But if you are using a PC or a laptop or maybe a smart TV, so you'll just come here to the chart type and then you select it like that. So first thing you need to understand here, once I pressed that icon, I just found this area candlestick hollow and this we call them the bus. So the first thing, when you come to this candle, you will find that it's closed. You can't put it, you can't select it. There is a reason as to why it does that. Okay, once you come to the hollow, the same. Once you come to the bar, the same. Okay, okay, so sorry for that. I paused for some few minutes because of so for some few seconds because I was talking to someone. So let's proceed. I was talking about to how we select the candlestick, and once we came here, we found that the candlestick area is close. So how do we select this candlestick area? Because once we come here, it's not open, and once we come here to the area, we just find the area is open. So there is something we call the lowest time frame, or the lowest time interval. So make sure you understand this. The lowest time interval, a candlestick can represent an asset movement, is 1 minute. That's the lowest interval that we can represent our price assets in this particular manner or in this particular case. So the lowest time interval or the lowest time frame we can represent this asset movement using a candlestick is 1 minute. So once we select this one tick, it won't work in any way. So the minimum time frame tumesema ni nini? 1 minute. You just come here and select the 1 minute time frame, and automatically the candlestick area will open as soon as possible, within seconds. Okay, so once we have selected that, you can select up to 2 minutes, up to 1 day, that's 24 hours. So for this particular case, we'll be using 1 minute. So you just come here and select the candlestick like that, and after you have selected that candlestick area, automatically it will feed in itself here. So you will notice that the area has gone. This area, this line has gone, and automatically the candlesticks have has appeared. Okay, so now this is how now you will understand the current market movement, the current direction of the market. Okay, yeah, and remember we normally have different time frame. So you'll find that the market structure that we'll see here, or the current market structure that we'll see in the 1 minute, will not be the same current market structure in the 2 minute. The structure will be completely different, but the same asset but the asset moving is still the same. It doesn't mean that we are using another asset. So the current structure that we see here in this 2 minute, it's different from the 1 minute, but the same asset is moving. Okay, the same market. We haven't changed the asset. Okay, it's just that the market represents itself differently in each time frame. Make sure you understand that. Okay, and there's something called the candlestick patterns. You'll find there are different candlestick patterns, which gives you a signal that this market is about to reverse. So I'll talk about those, but I won't talk about that in deep. You'll just go and find a book called Candlestick Bible. You'll go and read it. But in this particular manner, we'll not be needing it in any way. But at the same time, it will be adding some confluence in your trades. Okay, yeah. So I was talking about the rise and fall. You are simply predicting if the market will go up or if the market will go down. And remember, I told you a green candlestick normally represents the market going up, and a red candlestick normally represents a market going down, or the asset movement is going down. A red candlestick, we called it a bearish candlestick or a bearish movement. That's the red candlestick normally goes down, and a bullish candlestick is a green candlestick which is going upside. Okay, so make sure you understand that. So in this particular rise and fall, I'll not dwell so much about this, just understand the concept, the movement, and so on and so forth. Remember, these are just simple basics, but we'll move to the strategies as we head on. Okay, so you can't just know how to drive a car and you don't know the parts of those cars and the use of them. So I can't just give you a car to drive and you don't know how the steering works, and you don't know how a gear works, and you don't know how to start the engine. So you must understand those particular basics so that you may understand how to drive that car. Okay, so let's proceed to the rise and fall. Remember, you can predict this particular market in different time interval. Okay, so the first time interval, you can predict this market in ticks and in minutes. Okay, as you can see, this is a tick and this is a minute. So you come here to ticks and select from 1 tick to 10 tick, meaning that you are predicting the market will rise after 1 tick up to 10 ticks, but we'll be using 1 tick. Okay, understand? Maybe 3. Okay, so but I'll talk about that. So you are predicting in ticks, you are simply meaning that the next movement of this price will go down maybe after 1 tick, or will go up after 1 tick. So what's the tick that we are talking about? If you look at this candlestick, there is this black dot here. So there are some small movements going after 1 second, after 1 second, after 1 second. That's a tick. So one movement, that's a tick. Another movement, that's a tick. Okay. So after 1 tick, you predict that the market will go down. So the moment you have pressed this rise, the next that small movement should go up. If you're predicting fall, the next movement, that small movement should go down. Okay, that's predicting the tick. If you're predicting 2 ticks, the next, okay, the first tick won't matter. The second tick will be the only one that matters. Okay, so if the first tick goes up and you're predicting rise, it won't matter. The first tick doesn't matter. So the second tick should be the one going up. Okay, make sure you understand that basic. Now I've talked about the ticks. You can go up to 10 ticks, but we are not interested in the 10 ticks. We're only interested in the first, two, second, and the third. You just apply that simple knowledge, and you'll understand about that. So that this video cannot be long. So let's proceed to the minutes. To the minutes, we are simply predicting that this market, after 1 minute, the market will go up. After 1 minute, the market will go down. So you are predicting the next movement, or the next candlestick that you will be predicting. It should close winning. Okay, if you're predicting rise, the next candlestick that you're predicting, or the current candlestick that you are predicting, should close uh, bullish in that 1 minute. Okay, yeah, up to 1440 minutes. That's the range. That's the maximum time interval that you can predict this market. 1 minute to 1440 minutes. So if you want to predict after 2 minutes, the next movement of this asset in the next 2 minutes, it should be rising. Okay, so let's use 1 minute as an example. Let's put a rise like that. So you'll just find here there's some there's some countdown, you can see. So the more that candlestick becomes green, the more you win. So as long as that candlestick will close it being green, then you will be winning that trade. It doesn't matter if it closes ikiwa kadogo, it doesn't matter if it closes ikiwa kubwa, it doesn't matter, as long as ishafunga ikiwa green. Okay, so make sure you understand that. So up to when this 1 minute will end is where we'll be considering this market as a win. But if this market will close red, it shows us that our trade is losing. Okay, yeah. So I think I've explained about that. We just proceed slowly by slowly up to where you will understand each and everything. So I've talked about the rise and fall. That's the simple basics. And once you have understood that, then we'll be good in this particular manner. So our candlestick closed green. It didn't matter. There's something we call a doji candlestick. Even if it closes with a doji candlestick like this, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter as long as that candlestick has closed it being green. Okay, yeah. So I think we have talked about the rise and fall. That's all about the rise and fall, how it works and what it works with and how it works. Okay, so I'll be teaching the strategies, but not today because I must explain about these different trade types that we'll be dealing with. So we are done about the prediction of the direction. So now the next class we'll be dealing up with the digits. Okay, digits only. That's the matches differ. That's the even odd. That's the over under. We'll be dealing with the digits strictly. Okay. So I think I've talked about the rise and fall. Make sure this video has helped you in any way. Just understand the core basics. So we'll proceed with the next episode tomorrow. That's God willing. If you are not in our team, you can go to the TikTok page, search Georgetown Official. You'll just find my page there. There is a link there you can click and you can join our WhatsApp group, our WhatsApp discussion group. That's where I send signals. That's where I give out classes, the free classes. I give out the free trading live sessions, and we call that a community. So make sure you understand everything. Make sure you subscribe so that you may not miss any video that I drop. So I'll be dropping each one video every day until you become a successful trader. So remember, a trader, this is not a rich quick scheme. It normally takes time, but once you focus and once you put consistency in it, then it will help you so much. So stop following those lavish lifestyle that you see on the internet. Not every lavish lifestyle you see there is legit or is real. So just don't fake your life. Just follow the path. Just follow each and everything that I've talked about here. So remember, I'll be teaching you even the trading psychology. I'll be teaching you everything. So make sure you follow up to the end. I'll be doing them in episodes so that you may understand. These things took me a lot of months to understand them, but you will understand them maybe in a month if you, yeah, even if in a month. Just if you concentrate, okay? Yeah, so make sure you understand that. So have a good day. Let's meet tomorrow, God willing. Make sure that this video helps you. Have a good day.